Hey guys, RedPandaMining here. Hope you're doing well. Having a really great day. This video, I just received a new product from iPollo. This is a iPollo X1. This apparently does 300 to 330 megahash, plus or minus 5%. And then they say here the memory on it is 6 gigabyte. Max DAG is 5.8 gigabytes. And then the algorithms that this is supported to mine on is Ethash. And the power consumption is 240 watts plus or minus 10%. So I'm here to do an unboxing, also test it out. Also, I want to compare the efficiency of this X1 to other iPollo products, other Ethash or ETC hash products that are out there right now. Also talk about the price, and we can compare all of that within this video as well. I'm going to be setting it up and just seeing how it goes, because it's going to utilize an Orange Pi here, or I think maybe any computer essentially, to get this going. So thank you to iPollo for sending this to me. Right now they're having a sale on this one right now, including the Orange Pi. Normally it doesn't come with it, but they have limited quantities, so until supplies last. All right, let's unbox it, and then we'll talk about the power supply as well right after we unbox it here. So came in this nice looking, looks like a simple GPU box, very similar, and comes with the, looks like this is read instructions before use. Contact us, all their support info is here in case anyone has any issues. Okay, now the X1 itself. So looking at preliminary pictures, I remember seeing it looking kind of like a GPU, and yeah, this thing, it looks and feels like a GPU, but is it a GPU? I'm gonna have to say no. It has the 2-DIN PCIe slot bracket here, but yeah, it's 3 fans. Yeah, I'm gonna assume this is not your typical GPU, but it's probably an ASIC. Now, looking at the back here, actually has similar screws to like a GPU as well. You guys can see here, iPollo, okay, iPollo X1. Shows the memory size here, it shows 12 volt, 30 amp. Has all the specs laid out on the back, which we explained already. Now, looks like this is the bottom because there are these plastic standoffs here, essentially to have it lay flat, like this. Okay, so the form factor is, yep, pretty small, all right, just like that. Doesn't look like there's any brackets or standoffs on the side or top here. Looks like it's supposed to stand like so. Then on the PCIe bracket side, looks like there's just a USB and then 2 8-pins for power. Then there's nothing else on these sides here, just to show you guys. Okay, so just the outer heatsink shell here with the 3 fans. Okay, looks pretty standard. The power supply. Okay, so I have many reservations regarding these, laptop style brick PSUs, but this time it looks like they have thicker PCIe cables. Okay, so looking at the wording here, just the gauge size, it looks like it is 16 gauge. I recall like the gold shell mini doges, they had like 18 gauge, and some of you guys may remember with those, I had burnt 6-pin PCIe cables due to the thickness of those cables. So this looks like this is 16 gauge cabling here, according to the wiring here, and it is 8-pin, okay, not 6-pin compared to those laptop bricks that had only 6-pin. So this should theoretically be okay, 150 watts per 8-pin, which, it is advertised at 240 watts, so that should be all good. Input is 100 volt to 240 volts, so you can run this on regular 120 volt North American plug or a 240 volt 30 amp plug, and you could probably utilize the HP server PSUs with like veteran miner cables, or any type of 6-pin 8-pin PCIe HP server power supplies. Okay, next it comes with one of these Orange Pis. Okay, again, this is limited quantity while supplies last, so this is essentially the computer that's going to be running this X1. Look at that. So it needs a computer essentially to run. All right, so here's the USB, here's the Ethernet, and yeah, it looks like there's a memory card in here as well. Okay, so we're gonna have to probably flash that with the firmware, with the OS, and it comes with the supplied cables to connect the X1 to this. So I'm gonna set it all up. I'm gonna follow the instructions on the iPollo's website. They have a how-to there. I'll see you guys right back. Okay, so it took me a good less than 10 minutes to really set this up. I had to get a micro SD card reader to put the firmware on the micro SD card, as you guys can see here on the back of the Orange Pi. So there's a little bit of work to do. All the cables are hooked up. I have a lot of reservations just looking at this whole setup here, but we'll talk about the pros and cons in a second. So it is working. I have it mining on k1pool.com utilizing the iPollo ASIC special ETC to ZIL ports. Okay, so I'm mining Ethereum Classic and Zilliqa at the same time, okay, on the US pool here. And just to show you guys the web GUI, it's the exact same as the other iPollos, like the V1s, the SEs. You log in the same way. You get the IP address either from your router or using advanced IP scanner, or they have their own tool, okay, to get the IP as well on their website, and all the information on how to download the firmware and the manual on how to install this is all on iPollo.com. They even say here, first 100 orders bonus a set of Orange Pi accessory $489. So let's talk about the efficiency now of this iPollo X1. You guys know over the past year they've released other versions called the Mini SE, the SE Plus, V1 Mini Classic, V1 Mini and whatnot. So looking at the efficiency of this model, it is at 0.72, okay, just at the advertised hash rate and power. That's the power consumption I'm getting at 116 volts, okay, North American plug, 262 watts coming from this power brick, which is starting to get pretty hot now. Anyways, you guys can see the 0.72 watt per hash. Now, if we look at other models, and the only one I could say compared to this would be the golden V1 Mini, which is this guy. Okay, you guys all know this version here is pretty popular over the last year. It is a little bit more efficient by like a good 0.8. okay, watt per hash against the gold V1 Mini that has the same memory as well, okay, 5.8 gigabytes on the X1. So now, some of you may be asking, Red Panda, is this thing worth it to buy? As of right now, I'm gonna have to say no. The price doesn't seem to be great. I think it needs to be much lower to stay competitive against other ETC, ETH ASIC models out there, especially the new Jazz miners. You guys know these things are coming out pretty soon. So for example, I've updated the prices the best I could of what's out there recently. So if I just did a dollar per hash, okay, if we just sort this by dollar per hash, that you can see the X1, it does cost $489. Yes, okay, $489. That's if you can get the first 100 Orange Pis, okay? If you decide to buy it, later on, then you're gonna have to buy the Orange Pi yourself, which is, $60, $100 on Amazon. So consider the extra cost here because you do need a device to hook up that, which it needs, yes, another device to run this X1, right? It's not like the iPollo V1 Mini, okay, like these SE Pluses that, they already have everything all in one, all the network, all the power in one little box. So the density is pretty nice. But the price is $749 on iPollo.com for those golden V1 Minis. So something to consider if that is something that you care about and it takes a little bit more work to set up one of these X1s, then that's your prerogative. But just looking at the dollar per hash here, okay, so X1 $489, that's $1.48 per Megahash. Okay, now if we go to the one below it, there's a new Jazzminer X16P. Okay, this one has 8 gigabytes. This is a monster, 5800 megahash at about 1900 watts. That has an efficiency though of 0.32. Okay, so almost double the efficiency than the X1 of 0.72. But of course, the price is a lot more, but you are getting way more hash rate and double the efficiency. So looking at the dollar per hash, it's pretty competitive if we were to look at some other models here out there. But in my opinion, including the Orange Pi, okay, including, like I said before, including the host device that you need, you're gonna have to add on that extra cost. So this dollar per megahash is probably gonna go a lot more. Let's say we added on another, I don't know, let's just say $580, okay, that including the Orange Pi. If you had to buy it separately, then you can see the dollar per megahash is gonna go up much more. Okay, so now the X1 is going to drop in place here a little bit lower to $1.76 per Megahash. So you guys can understand that, right? But I think the biggest thing, depending on people's electrical cost, is going to be efficiency. So obviously the Jazz miners are a lot better in terms of efficiency, as you guys can see here, 0.32. There's new models here, even the X16Q, okay, that does 1950 Megahash at 630 watts. That goes for about $32.49 right now, but the X1, which is down here, okay, it's even the E9 Pro, which is from Bitmain, is beating it in terms of efficiency, 0.6, okay, versus 0.72. So as long as you guys understand the efficiency and how much these cost and all that kind of stuff, and whether or not you think this is good for you to buy or not, that's gonna be on you. Do your own research, but I've given you guys this information here. Let me know what you guys think of this iPollo X1, okay? So interesting little guy. Thank you, iPollo.com, for saying this to me. Now, I'm trying to think, you know, buying one of these right now, sure, okay, so you're getting like 300 to 330 Megahash mining ETC or ETH hash coins, ETHW, whatever, all those kind of stuff. So I'm thinking, like, is there a world where we can like hook these up into like a server case? Since it has the bracket here, it doesn't have like a typical slotted PCIe that you just plug into a PCIe slot. So that's, you know, something you don't need to worry about. I mean, it looks cool, but the price right now, it just, in my opinion, doesn't make sense. I think it needs to be under $350 just for the X1. I think $489 or $500 it's too much right now. Compared to other models and efficiency, this thing has to come down in price in order for it to make sense and to stay competitive against other models out there. But I just wanted to give you guys my honest opinion about that. All right, guys, that concludes my little overview and setup and unboxing, and just giving you guys my opinion regarding these iPollo X1s that are currently coming out right now. Let me know what you guys think. A link down below if you guys do decide to buy one of these. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one. Peace out.